Welcome to the Black Appalachian Coalition's podcast entitled Black Remembering, where we will bring to you the heavy and the hope across the Ohio River Valley. We want to remember who we are, where we've come from. We want to speak to the oral history of what we've done, what we've achieved. We want to speak to the ills that we have experienced while also finding solutions to those problems, those issues. We want to deal with the narrative that has kept us deeply rooted in despair. Now we want to punch through that narrative and stand up and say, we are remembering our Black past, and we are rooted, and we are here to stay. Welcome to Black Remembering. We hope that you find your place, your space, and your voice in this podcast.
Hi, this is Melanie Mead with Black Podcast. We are remembering by highlighting the heavy and the hope. I'll be interviewing Joseph Amadasun, a young man from the Clairton community, and we're just going to talk about his experiences. Hi, Joseph.
Hi.
Can you tell me your age and some of the things that you're into?
Hi, my name is Joseph. I am currently 13 years old, and I do lots of tricking, acrobatic things. I scooter, and I do YouTube. And yeah.
And what's your experience like living here in Clairton with all of those fun activities that you like to do?
With where my house is, I could probably go to the front and do some tricks or something, ride my scooter. But sometimes when the air is bad, I'd like my nose, when I come in, it wouldn't happen that day. Different day, my nose would get stuffy, and then it would go on for a while.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you're not really able to enjoy a lot of what you do because you have to have a tissue or a handkerchief whenever you're trying to do those fun things. It's not easy, huh, to flip or do a trick with a handkerchief, wiping your nose.
When I go outside and play with other kids, I see lots of other kids. There's really nothing to do in the city of Clairton. I feel like all the other kids, well, me and some other my friends, we just walk. We'd probably be walking to his house or walking outside, walking to my house. And we'd look at the abandoned buildings and be like, oh, we could make this a rec center or tear it down, or we ask ourselves why haven't we tear it down. I got lots of ideas from my friends, like there's this abandoned school that I feel like, and we feel like we could break down and make into basketball recreation center. And then without all that stuff, we play with the splat ball guns, and that's really the only thing we have. And then if we don't have anything else, that's the only option.
Now, what about the splat ball guns? I mean, I know you enjoy doing it, but have you encountered any issues that come up with it?
No, not really, because it's been getting worldwide and around, and the police kind of know when it's a splat ball gun. But sometimes we usually do it in like a certain space, and then we'll move to a different space. And I do see police officers ride by, but they don't really do too much because they know it's a game. But like, I do feel like if we're just doing it anywhere, it'll probably be a little bad. But other than that, I feel fine about it, but we could do other things if we had.
Do you think that if you had an indoor space, like that would be safer?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it would be like we can make things and obstacles be more organized instead of people getting shot when they don't have a gun or something.
Gotcha. So they're getting shot with splat balls and they don't have a gun. And so it's not like it's fair for
sometimes, but if you came into the splat ball war, you know what the consequences are. All playful, but you know what the consequences are when you don't have your equipment, like going to a skate park but with no equipment.
Gotcha. Now, what about that? I know you like skating and tricking too. Is there any space for you to do that here in the community?
Me and my friends find a little bit, but not really. There's like places, but it's like a half of a place. There's like a sidewalk that's super good. Eventually we'll get bored at it and we'll see this other sidewalk. It's big, perfect, but it's not it has holes and dents and it's rocky and it's broken and stuff.
Okay, so you really, even when you do go outside, you don't really have safe spaces that can endure the fun play. You just have like one little sidewalk or half of a sidewalk. Yeah, that's yeah. And how does that, like, on the days when you guys get bored, how does that make you feel? And it's okay to express your emotions. I just wondered if sometimes you might have heightened emotions, like, and you may not, but I would like to understand better if it has any effect on your emotion.
For me, when there's really nothing to do, I'd probably go home, watch my phone, but then I'd really be like, wow, there's really nothing to do outside. But I am sometimes able to get out to urban areas, and that would bring up my fun. But it used to be liking to stay inside and not go outside. Now the weather's getting bad and it's being weird, so everybody wants to go outside, but sometimes they can't. So it's like it brings me to like a middle state where I'm not happy, but I'm not like sad.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. And what about your friends? Do you think that any of them are maybe sad whenever they can't, like, do you see that it saddens them in a way when they can't do the fun things they like to, or when they can't go outside and enjoy themselves?
A little bit, but not like in a sad way. Just like a sigh way. We can't go outside or anything.
And I like that idea that you shared about your friends looking at abandoned buildings and having ideas for them. How many abandoned buildings do you have around your home?
Probably 10, 8 through 10, I think, because there's an abandoned school, abandoned like shop centers, like where you got stores next to stores, and we got a clothing place, cricket, and another stores, and a couple others. So I'd say roughly about 8.
And how does that make you feel when you're walking in a community seeing those abandoned buildings? Does it, like, if you were carrying trash or eating your ice cream, does that make you feel any kind of way, like if you don't see a garbage can nearby?
Yeah, sometimes it does. Like on certain days where I'm just really like looking and observing things, I look and be like, that's dumb or disgusting. Not disgusting, but like a different word, annoying that this building is this when it could be this, something fun. I mean, but when I walk past it on days, and I'd be going outside with my friends, I wouldn't really worry too much I wouldn't want it to take my energy down. So I'd just not worry about it.
Sure, that's great. Now, what about you? Have you lived in other places?
I lived in 3 different places. One is where I'm from, well, where I was born, Washington, D.C. Then I moved on to North Carolina. Love it there. Stayed there for a while. Then came back to Clairton and stayed here for all my life. And then when I was 12, I went back to DC, but I was in Maryland and then came back. And now I'm in Clairton.
And what was your experience like in Maryland as far as activities and things to do in the community? How did your community look? Were there a lot of abandoned buildings there?
My community was really like a house place, and it was nice, but there wasn't really buildings. It was just like a straight neighborhood with houses, and it wasn't really. There wasn't a lot of things I could do either besides ride up and down the hill, but I'd still have to ride out, get a car, somebody to drive me out to go to this place. So it would be like the same as Claren, but not as bad. So yeah.
And what about your runny nose? Did you have that issue there as much?
No, not really. I did have it when the season changed, but then it went away. Here the seasons changed, but it's still been going on. I think it's the air sometimes.
Right. And how much well, forgive me, but do you take any kind of medicine for it?
I do take little tablets that go under my tongue and they dissolve and they help for like 20 minutes and then it come back.
And how many times do you take those, do you think, in a day?
Probably 2 times, depending on how I feel on each day.
So you have to take 2 tablets?
2 tablets.
About 3 times a day?
3 times a day, yeah.
And it still doesn't completely take away?
Nope. I take one, take the 2, and then wait a couple hours, like 2 or 1. Take some more, which is 2, and then take another one. And then at least by night, I'm able to like get good breathing when I sleep. But like, it's kind of annoying having to have runny nose all the time.
Sure, right. I can definitely understand that. So let's go back to some of the ideas you and your friends were coming up with for these buildings. What's one thing that you would put indoors in a building for the youth in our community?
We were thinking, and I was thinking about a basketball recreation center that has vending machines and somewhere nice for people like basketball players to come play basketball. And then now I'm thinking of a place where I could go, like a near trampoline park, but not like big one, like a little small one. Come and jump on a trampoline for a little bit and play on the spring pads, but not too big, nothing to make it too popular.
Right. That sounds cool. And what are some of your interests? Like, what would you like to be whenever you grow up?
I'm still on that thinking, but I think I will grow up and be a software engineer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And do you know about like how that job how you can use software engineering when you live in a community like Clairton? Have you really been exposed to that information?
Not really to like using Clairton, but I find a way to do it in my house.
Yes, that's good. That's good. So if you had a checkbook and you could write a check to make the building, you would create a little mini trampoline park and an indoor basketball area.
Yes.
What about like, do you ever feel like you should talk to somebody? Sometimes you get frustrated or angry. Would you ever trust speaking to a counselor?
I always would like to speak to somebody, but sometimes I feel like it's not really nothing to worry about and I could just wipe it off myself. like I know some things that I really do be like carrying that I would come and talk to somebody about.
Do you think that in that kind of area, like in that kind of building with like a fun space, we would get more youth to come and speak out or share it wouldn't be in a public setting. We could have group meetings. I think that if we had group meetings about death, right, that might be cool. And then you had like the trampoline park and the basketball to kind of like ease your emotions. I think that's a great idea. I was just wondering if you think that, like, would you feel comfortable talking to somebody? And if so, that could be another part, that you have like adults there that could mentor or talk to the youth.
Yeah, that would be good to have someone there, so like teach people sometimes. Like if you see somebody and you want to help them, you could go around and help.
Okay, yeah, I just learned about a group who was teaching. It's in Chicago, and that city's pretty dangerous, so they have a lot more gun violence than we have, but they are like engaging the youth so that they know what to do if they're ever in a situation.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you would benefit, or if you think that your group of friends would benefit from learning about those issues too.
Maybe I think maybe some of my friends would.
How do you know of any recent shooting in the community?
Recent, not really. I know there was a shooting one time when I was outside. I was leaving to go stay at my friend's house, and then we heard like me and my friend heard pops, but we didn't think much of it. But maybe like in different areas, I feel like people when they hear like gunshots or pops, they be all scared and rowdy. But like me and my friend, we heard them and we were like, oh, that's definitely gunshots. But we weren't worried about it because it didn't sound too close to us. Probably 2 minutes later, somebody's mom was by asking, like looking for somebody, and then they say they were shooting up somewhere. So we got home, but we were safe.
That's good. That's good. What do you know about the air pollution that causes you so much issue? Do you think, or do you know where it comes from?
No, I don't. I know it comes from a mill, but I don't know too much. I feel like there's the smell always gets to me, like rotten eggs, skunk.
Yeah, no, it gets to a lot of people, and I'm glad that you even know that, or that you experience it, because some people, their body protects them so that they don't know that it smells that way. But a lot of people's health, and especially our young people in our community, their health is affected. We have what is 3 times the national average in asthma in youth like you, because when you are in areas like this, it makes it harder for you to breathe. And then when you do breathe, your body still doesn't get a lot of clean oxygen. So it makes your organs have to work harder, and they work under stress. And that can cause like headaches and other things that people may not pay attention to, because they might just think, oh, I have a headache, and they may not connect it to the coke works. Now it used to be a steel mill, but now they're doing something different, which is called coking. And I don't even know about that process, so I wouldn't expect you to. But I'm glad that you do know that the pollution is coming from an industry. A lot of people still don't believe that that industry is responsible for it. When I was a little girl, you could see the soot in the air, and you could see it on your car or on your house. Do you see soot in the sky?
What is soot?
Soot? No, that's cool. Soot is like dark particles in the sky, or dark clouds.
Yes, I see a lot of clouds, but sometimes I don't refer it to soot. I'd probably be like, oh, it's about to rain. Sometimes it does rain, but I'm outside and I'm not really focused on that. But now that I think of it, I have seen lots of dark clouds.
Yeah, and remember there was a picture you shared with me because I
Yes.
had told you about me getting certified as a smoke reader.
Yep.
So I wondered, like, what could you tell me about that picture? What made you snap it? And do you think that we could get other youth to take different pictures like that and give them a motivation to understand? And actually, it's called become an activist for your community by saying we won't accept what we see.
Yes. When I saw it, I was looking at it and I remembered that you were into the cleaner stuff, and that didn't look very, to me, like by myself, that didn't look like it was supposed to be coming out here. It looked like, well, like dirt.
What color was it?
It was brownish, darkish.
Dark brown.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And where was it coming from? Is it just in the sky, or did you see where it was coming from?
It was coming from one of the systems at the mill. Like, what do they call it? It's like a circular thing. It's either square or circular, and that's where they push the gas out, I think, or the smoke, and that's where it was coming from.
Okay. And I'm glad that you took that picture. I was actually able to send that to the Allegheny County Health Department. And I just want to thank you. I hope you'll share this podcast with your friends so we can get them to highlight their heavy and also get hope. So more of us come together, you all may just see an indoor space for you. And that's really important for me, that when you are in your home, that you feel safe and you are having just as much fun. You don't have to leave your home or leave your community to have fun.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining me. Take good care.
Bye-bye.
Peace.